Hi, everyone. My name is Cade King. I'm the president of the New Circle of the Omicron Delta Kappa National Leadership Honor Society. It's a mouthful, which would be nice to put on your resume. But I just want to welcome you to this little info session to tell you more about ODK and what we're all about. Um, you all obviously qualified to join. We'll be reviewing applications, I think, next week. And then after this little PowerPoint, I will show a video, and then Lynn will tell us a little bit more about the Children's Center. But yeah, so we can start. So ODK is all about leadership, quite simply. I'll let everyone kind of read the slides and won't read it out to everyone, but the big things to focus on are scholarship, athletics, service, communications, and the arts. And just because, you're interested in athletics, but you're not as interested in arts doesn't mean you don't qualify. Um, you can just, be very emblematic of just one of these or several of them. But the big focus is being a leader, especially in one of these areas on campus. So our history, Omicron Delta Kappa was founded on December 3rd, 1914. And we're founded on the ideals of scholarship, service, integrity, and character. And I kind of think of these as scholarship as, your relationship in school, services, relationship to the community. Integrity, I feel like, really helps you with your relationship in the workforce, character, your individual relationship, and fellowship with, your immediate friends and family. There are many reasons to join. Selective membership, identified leaders, and a national network. The one that I can really attest to is the national network. It's really nice to go to LinkedIn and see, people you may know in nonprofit organizations similar to yours, and see that there are ODK members from across the country, and you just have to connect, start a conversation with them. It's just a talking point. To again expand your network. So that's one thing that I've really valued. But these are the other reasons on your left. And I'd like to add that these slides came from the ODK website, national website. So feel free to go to that website to get all this information. So you all obviously qualified for membership, or else you would not be here. I think the one thing that Lynn mentioned was that the eligibility will be sophomores, juniors, and seniors instead of just undergraduates. Usually with a 3.5 GPA. But I will say, since we will be the exec board will kind of be reviewing applications, we really want to see, leadership roles you've had in the past, and if you haven't had any, proof that you'd be willing to take one on in the future. Because again, it's not just an honor society, it's a leadership honor society. And then these are the other benefits for membership. Scholarships are very important. I swear it's about once a week that I'll get an email from nationals talking about some other, scholarship for maybe just school or, ODK circles in the Southeastern Conference, SEC. Some of them may be for specific majors. Some of them, maybe for certain service events you took part of. It really kind of depends, and it changes and varies. And, I'm sure that there will be several that apply to you if you end up joining. And then also leadership development programs. We have the National Leadership Conference April 8th to 10th, which Lynn and 5 other current members will be going to. And there's an exec from, I think, like Nat Geo, who will be speaking there, and a couple other big names. And again, they'll just be talking about leadership and kind of, how you can implement leadership from the classroom and, college into your career, and just kind of stuff like that that's really applicable and really helpful. And then here are the steps to become a member. I just noticed that nationals misspelled circle in the first one, but hopefully that doesn't uh, show our aptitude for spelling. Um, but completing an national application, lifetime membership fee is $88. Which, being a part of fraternity and sorority life, I can say $88 really isn't that much for dues, considering it's a lifetime membership. Yeah, and then attend an initiation ceremony, which is pretty simple, nothing crazy. Your name will be announced this past fall when Abby Vickers was president. I was the one that had to say everyone's name. So it's really simple process, nothing crazy. Then I'll go to one of our kind of recruitment videos for ODK. So before I introduce Lynn, I just want to talk about some stuff that New Circle has done this semester. Just this past Saturday, we had the polar plunge. So I'm an intern for Special Olympics of Kentucky, and we do polar plunges across the state of Kentucky. And this past Saturday was the one in Lexington. So I thought it'd be perfect to have ODK and another honor society, a part of the Children's Center, Alpha Lambda Delta, pair up and have that be the community service event for this semester. It was great success. Special Olympics raised over $72,000, which was more than they'd ever done for that specific event. And then also, Jessica Lamb, president of ALD, is planning another community service event for this semester to write letters to those in, I can't remember if it was for through St. Jude's to kids in hospitals or somewhere else. But yeah, so we have a lot of community service events. And then, like I mentioned before, the National Leadership Conference in April. But yeah, I will now let Lynn take the floor. She is our faculty advisor, and she probably has a lot more stuff to say about the Children's Center.
Thank you. Thanks, Cade. So just tell the students, I'm going to put you on the spot though, Cade, and tell the students, like, tell us a little bit about yourself. So what your major is, when you're graduating, what you're if you have plans after you graduate. Tell us a little bit about yourself as a leader for this group.
Sure. So I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I say that, but it's a town outside of Chicago, because no one else would know what the town is. I actually spent my first year at community college, Elgin Community College, in Elgin, Illinois. So I've only I came in as a sophomore, and I went right into the business school, majoring in finance and economics, graduating this semester. Intern at Special Olympics of Kentucky. I've been the secretary and treasurer of Pi Kappa Alpha. Trying to think if there's anything else. But hopefully that can be somewhat of an inspiration to show I've only been here 3 years and you can do a lot to really be a part of the campus community. But plans after college, unsure yet. Wish I could tell everyone, but I still don't know. Looking for jobs. So if anyone has openings, please let me know. But yeah.
Well, that's good. So, and then you joined ODK just last year.
Correct.
And in the spring, if I'm not mistaken, and
Yes.
then stepped up to be the business manager for ODK. And then when Abby Karen graduated in December, you became the student president.
Correct.
And so you are, in a leadership and 2 leadership roles in ODK already. So,
right.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Which also I want to introduce who's with us. I don't think the other 2 student officers are with us, is Abby Elberts. And so Abby, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? You just recently joined in December, correct? In ODK?
Yes,
so, I just joined. Say that again?
I just joined.
Right, in December at our last induction. And we did a run for new officers to replace Cade, and you were the chosen one, I guess. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what your major is, that type of thing.
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. My major is human health science. I'm also minoring in business and human health advocacy, and I am interning at a dental office back in St. Louis, back at home. I also am a volunteer for many things here in Kentucky. One of them is the Ronald McDonald House and the Family Room. I did a lot with them over the summer and during the school year. And that's about it. I'm a sophomore also.
Okay. So, and as a sophomore, I mean, we're hoping that, Abby will stay in leadership in ODK and be able to be a mentor to new leaders that come up next year or the year after, the following years or whatever. So again, my name is Lynn Heiler. I am the program coordinator in the Children's Center for Undergraduate Excellence. Some of you all may know a student that is a Children's Student Fellow, or what we call them as cellos. There may even be a few here on the chat, the presentation, because they have become eligible for ODK as well. So the Children's Center has been in existence for about 15 years now. We have the Children's Student Fellows Program, and we also house 4 honoraries. ODK is our newest one. We have Phi Beta Kappa, Phi Kappa Phi, Omicron Delta Kappa, and Alpha Lambda Delta. And those are various Alpha Lambda Deltas first year students, ODK sophomore up. Phi Kappa Phi is juniors and seniors, and Phi Beta Kappa is mainly seniors with a few speckled juniors, depending on how many requirements they have filled at that level. So, but we also work with the Nationally Competitive Awards Office. And so if you are interested in any kind of awards that come from outside funding, and those are Fulbright Awards, that's the Truman, the Marshall, the English Speaking Union, the classical languages, things like that. That's what Nationally Competitive Awards are. So we work with them very closely. A lot of our students that are involved in the National Honor Societies, become the recipients of some of the national awards that Dr. Pat Whitlow's office helps manage on our campus. Some of them you have to be nominated by the university, and others are self application. So that's just a little bit about the challenge. If you all have any questions, you can put them in the chat. You can unmute and ask Kate or Abby directly if you want to know like any plans for the rest of the semester besides Alpha Lambda Delta's writing and ODK. They're going to do a joint service there. There will be other meetings. I'm sure Kate and Abby and the other two officers are Chloe Ditka and Natalia Dixon, if you know either of them as well. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What does and I guess this might be a question for Cade, like what does the commitment look like? Like, is there like a monthly meeting? Is it voluntary how you sign up for community events? Just kind of give us a rundown of that.
Yeah, so there's no specific requirement on, the amount of hours you put in every week to ODK. You kind of, what you put into it, you get out kind of deal. I put in a lot of time, and then I was able to get to this position where I'm at now. So you don't have to put in, any time if you don't want, but we obviously want people who will put in time still, whether that's in community service or, they just represent ODK well. So it can be anywhere from 30 minutes a week, if you want to join a meeting with the exec board, or it can be 10 hours a week where even if you don't have an exec position, you bring community service ideas to the table, talk about new ideas. Abby and I are currently working on an incentive system for graduating seniors to earn graduation cords that ODK gives out. So there's a lot of ways to be involved, but if you're not involved, we'll not necessarily kick you out or anything. We just, of course, want people who will be involved. Did that answer your question? Okay.
I also had a quick question about the phases. If
Sure.
you're not directly involved in a particular phase as of now, would that affect the application if you're looking to join a phase?
We don't have a specific outline for whether or not we're going to, bring someone into the circle for the application. So, even if you don't have, any experience in one of the phases, but, you have an application working to, get an internship somewhere, or, you're trying to get into SGA somehow. Again, you really can kind of tell if someone's, trying to be involved and they're trying to show their leadership, and if they're not. So no, the answer is if you don't have any experience in any of those 5 phases, it won't harm your application. Obviously, the people who have experience in all 5 will have a small leg up on the competition, but it won't harm. But we obviously want to see in the future, you kind of implement those phases into your life on campus. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
So Kate, in the chat, there's the question, is scholarship, particularly recipients of scholarships, are generally regarding academic success and excellence?
Yeah, so scholarship is just kind of regarding academic success and excellence. But with that being said, there's still opportunities for scholarships through ODK, but that phase is just regarding how well you do in the classroom.
I have a question for Kate and Abigail. So
Sure.
obviously, all of us are smart. We're the top 35% of the class. So my question is, what do you think helped you guys stand out from other applicants? Like, do you really think it was, how you answered the essay questions, how you, how many leadership things that you guys did? Because obviously I'm sure, everyone has, a good GPA and all of that. So what made you stand out?
So I'll start, and then Abby, if you want to kind of add some stuff to it. So what I'll say is, so exec kind of decided who would replace my position as VP of business operations. And I know that's not specifically what you're asking for. You're just asking about membership, but I noticed that we could definitely increase community service, and Abby had a lot of experience in community service. So that really kind of, made her application more attractive than I think the other 7 people who applied for that position. So past experience, what I'm getting at is past experience is very helpful, and it's definitely worth including in your application. But I don't want to say there's like an X factor or just something that you can't put words to, but usually you can tell with an application of how well worded it is, processes they're in to, again, score an internship, or, apply for SGA, or, are they a part of different clubs on campus? And I don't want to say it's too late to get anywhere, to join any club, but usually if you have an aptitude for leadership, you would already be in some type of club. So what I'll say is, if you have past experience, that's great. Definitely include that, but that's not the key in the application. From when I applied, I included that I was part of a fraternity. I was in honor society in high school. Any involvement, I made sure to mention it. But Abby, if you want to kind of talk about your application, what you think helped, that'd be great.
Wait, real quick before Abigail, I do want to
Sure.
hear your question, but so we are allowed to put some stuff from high school on it. Like, I noticed how you just said that. Okay.
Anything that you think would help, that's great. We're really just trying to see, what's this person made of, from in the sense of how involved they are, even if they're not a leader now, could they be, and can we really enable that?
Okay.
But yeah, Abby, I'll let you go for it.
I think volunteering really helped because I got to know the community, and that just showed like I want to know the community so I can be a better leader. And I think that's what really helped. As Kate said, he really liked my volunteering. And if you guys ever need help finding some place to volunteer, I can be somewhat helpful in Kentucky. I mean, this is only my 2nd year being in Kentucky, but I've gone to multiple places here and lots. And I know, and I'm also in another club called PMAC, and I'm an officer for that club. So I think that also helped, having a leader position already. And I think just get yourself involved as much as you can. I mean, don't stretch yourself thin that you aren't getting your grades anymore, but I just sometimes on weekends go volunteer at places, and I think that helped a lot with my application.
Thank you, both of you. That helped.
Of course. Lynn, I see you're killing the questions in the chat. Is there any you want me to try and answer?
We can review a few of them live as well, in case everybody didn't see them. So there is an $88 national fee, which is a one-time, and there's a $10 local fee, which is one-time. We really try to keep the cost down locally, and then we do try to give back in awarding those cords. That's what that money goes to, for participation and things like that, and whatever other activities that they may choose to do. So we try to keep it to the minimum on that. There was 10 local. Okay, and then I talked about Phi Kappa Phi. And Sheldon was asking, can you join all of them? Sure. If you're eligible and you get an invitation, you can join as many. You do not have to surrender one membership for the other. Is the application and the email that you need to fill out? Yes, there was a link to the application, and the first thing that you do when you go to the application is choose the University of Kentucky Circle, and we are called the New Circle. It's NU, New Circle. And then the essay questions, Kate, we don't really have essay questions. It was more about prompts on what leadership positions you have. We chose not to choose a essay question. And then let's see the application ones. Okay. On the application, Victoria's asking, on the application, is it required to select a phase we are active in? If we aren't active yet, should we choose the one we plan to be active in? Kate, isn't that what you were just saying a few moments ago?
Yeah, again, we kind of want leaders on campus, and if you aren't active in athletics, but you plan to be, include that.
Okay. And then Ashley is asking about the fees. You will not pay any fees until you are accepted in the ODK, and you will get a separate email welcoming you to ODK with a link to pay fees, both locally and national. And unfortunately, they don't have a combined system where you pay the fees all at once. It will be two different links. We just had somebody join, but we may have to send the recording to them. So does anybody have any other questions?
I did have a quick one, if that's all right. I was just curious if there's a posting somewhere of the timeline, for example, like initiation day, if you were lucky enough to be accepted, or the other events that concern the Honor Society as a whole, or the other Honor Societies. Is that posted through the Shogun Center as well? Or is there like another place that you could find that timeline at?
The timeline for all the
well, I'm primarily interested, of course, in ODK, but
okay.
I was just interested in general too.
I don't think that we have posted that anywhere, but I can give you a brief overview. Applications are due. Well, it just went out of my brain.
Do you have it
They are due the 22nd.
Yeah.
Then the committees will review, and then you'll be notified by the next week sometime. And then you have until the 6th to pay your fee, and then of April, and then the induction ceremony is April 13th, if I'm not mistaken, and it will be virtual. We've already decided that as well.
Awesome, thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. I appreciate it.
Good, you're very welcome. The deadline to apply. Okay, thank you, Kate. This is the 21st. Stephanie.
Then,
oh, yep. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Stephanie asked if you're a member sorority, you're still eligible for ODK. Yes, you are.
Yes, absolutely.
And I can say that too, because I'm a Chi Omega here on campus.
And ODK, it's a leadership. It's not more like your fraternities and sororities. This is based on your academics. It's not your typical social sorority where you have, I mean, that's a whole new ballgame. We have the Greek letters, yes, but it's not the same as the Greek societies. Okay. I think, did we get everybody's questions?
If anyone has a question after we end this, Lynn, I believe you mentioned or put my email in that mass email you sent out.
I did, and I can add it to the chat. It's just k.king@uky.edu. You can reach me at the Children's Center at uky.edu or see Lynn Heiler, Hiler, uky.edu as well. There's all of the emails there in the chat if you need to. Is there merch? Yes. There it is. Yes, there is on the website, and the only thing that you all have going right now is that you're creating the award system for the cords for graduation, but there could be t-shirts that you all do as a joint fundraiser as well, or something like that. They just Omicron Delta has been on campus for a really long time, but it was being run under a different organization, and they left, and so the people that were doing it, so the Children's Center, it just came into the Children's Center like in August, so we're just revamping and getting things kicked off.
Lynn, did you see the question in the chat that Emma asked?
So I noticed on the application where it asked about organization memberships, it asked not to mention high school. However, I think you said we can include them if they're relevant. I would include them if that's what Kate and them. Yes, please do. If you think it's relevant enough for us to know. Yeah. One of the things too, especially I know we admit sophomores, but some of you actually may be first year students, but you have enough sophomore credits to be considered for ODK. It's a whole new ballgame than it was, 30 years ago when students were coming in with those no credits at all. Most students come in these days with college credits already. So high school is important as well on this. Yeah. Okay, no more questions. Thanks, Abby and Kate, for spending your time with us today, and everybody else. We had a wonderful turnout. We thank you. Let us know if you have any questions.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.